the flower and the purple flowers too. Ooh.
The sign, the
阔了吧，太漂亮了吧。这是新加坡吗？